What's up, guys? I'm here at a new spot in LA, Motosport Exotica. And what they do is they specialize in racing bikes in the Los Angeles area, of course. Got a Ducati, got some Gixxers, Aprilias, a lot of BMWs in here too. They're all working here. They're also a dealer for BT. So we've got the M1000XR on the dyno right now. We're gonna do some runs with her, see what she does. She's all set up. They even got this nice screen protector. I can get a focus on it. It says Motosport Exotica on it. All right, we're all wrapped up with the M1000XR dyno tuning. Went pretty smoothly. It's just like an M1000 single R, and surprisingly enough, the restrictions from this bike are the same in the US as they are in Europe. That's a big change we've seen so far. Maybe a couple more horsepower more in Europe, but this thing is severely restricted. Let me show you what second gear looks like, which on the dyno, check this out, massively labored. So as you can hear, there's like no power, and then the power just comes on, like just lays on the bike, which in my opinion, at a track that's a little bit dangerous, the power just pours on. And we're talking almost a 60 wheel horsepower difference between our run that's more linear, of course, and then of course the stock baseline run, which is red, and our, of course, tuned run is blue. We're making power over everywhere. That's almost 60 wheel right there just for second gear. Now let's go ahead and check out fifth gear. So here's a fifth gear comparison, stock versus flashed. And you can see this is pretty crazy here. We got 20 wheel horsepower, if you can see that. 190 to 170. That's 20 wheel horsepower right there. And of course, the new for 23, and now we're carrying it to 24 here, is this mid-range restriction we never had in fifth gear, but now second, third, fourth, and fifth are restricted. And you can see we're gaining about 8 wheel horsepower right there with a little bit of torque, 6 wheel torque. So that's a big change. The linear power line right here just from our tuning versus the stock graph. Of course, again, stock graph is red, our tuning is blue, and you can see just the massive difference in how linear our stock stuff is, or how our tuned stuff is versus that stock stuff. Makes the bike a lot more predictable, a lot easier to ride, let's put it that way. Check out that stock versus flashed AFR right there in the mid-range. We're seeing it dip a little bit. We're seeing about 16.69 spike right there. Now, of course, I'm sampling from the exhaust, so it's not exactly accurate, but that's still pretty lean. And you can see our tuning right there, nice and flat across the board. Now, of course, the biggest benefit to our flashing here is going to be de-restricting these gears. So second, third, fourth, and fifth gear have restrictions, not only in the mid-range like you normally see there, like we saw with second gear, but in the top end too. So what are the numbers here? We've got 182 stock, 194 after tuning. That is 12 wheel horsepower just up top. Forget that mid-range stuff. 12 wheel horsepower. And check out the torque. We made 1 wheel torque. That's pretty nominal, honestly, but if you look here, you can see there's 4 wheel torque right there. There's a lot of torque right here, probably about 5 wheel torque right there. It's a lot more changes than just seeing these numbers right there. Now with the BMWs, the awesome part is we get full-time closed loop, meaning it's enabled by us. A lot of people think that comes from the factory. It doesn't come from the factory. It does part-time, meaning partial throttle and low RPM stuff, but not full-time. We enable it for full-time. So now we have full-time closed loop on this. It's constantly making adjustments as we're adding modifications to it, or we're riding it in different atmospheric conditions. It's changing for all of those conditions. The throttle's now a lot smoother, shifting's gonna be smoother, and I can't wait to get my butt on this thing to actually test ride it. And I'm gonna go over a lot of these features with you, and a lot of stuff I didn't talk about just now. I definitely wanted to see those power numbers with you guys. Insane. So let's get on the road.